Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Tonight. Whether you're with Fuse or Flipside, we're so glad that you could join us for our small groups. I'm Abby, and I'm a grade 9 here at Fuse. Some of you may not know me that well, so here's 3 fun facts about me. Number 1 is that I'm super creative. I love painting, and one of my favorite artists of all time is the infamous Bob Ross. Number 2 is that I came to Glad Tidings just over a year and a half ago with my family, so I'm still kind of getting used to everything. And number 3 is that I have 2 younger siblings. As you can imagine, we're always pulling pranks and joking around with each other, and we love having fun together. Speaking of having fun, we like to have fun here at Youth too. And I heard that Caleb and Nathan have something awesome prepared for us. Let's go check it out.
Fuse and Flipside, welcome back to the Laugh of the Week. Caleb and Nathan here.
Hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. This is like the best part of the week, Caleb.
That's right. You say that every week, and it is still true.
It's true.
It's
Remains true.
So this week, something fantastic happened in the world. A lawyer accidentally had a cat filter on his Zoom meeting.
Oh, yeah.
A real court case.
That's hilarious.
And this is it right here.
Oh, man. Look at that.
Look at the cat. Okay, listen to this.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take a look.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.
I swear I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat.
And then the other guy goes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be okay to proceed like this. It's so funny.
My assistant's helping me out. Just give me a second.
Yeah. You couldn't figure it out. It must have been like his kids or something messing with him.
Yeah. I just find it funny, like it's such a serious case. The guy's like some legal issue, and he's I swear I'm not a cat.
All right, it made me think of this meme right here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I wonder if it was actually just his cat. He didn't want to go on camera and he wasn't ready in time, so he did this with his cat.
My sister hired my dog as her intern to let him join it. That dog's just straight chilling, man.
Just straight chilling.
He's loving that Zoom meeting.
Yeah. We got one more meme about Zoom meetings here.
Oh, bring it on.
Oh, fitness is my passion.
You've taken more steps than you normally do. Wow, a whole 2 extra.
10 steps instead of 8 steps. That's like from your laptop to the bathroom twice. That's it.
Yeah. 10 steps is literally nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. All right, well, that was a fantastic Laugh of the Week.
Thanks so much for joining us this week, guys. We hope you have an awesome week. And
we'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Wow, guys, that was so funny. I don't know how you find all of that entertaining content. Before we move on, I want to encourage you guys to grab your phones or tell your parents to follow us on all of our socials. Our Instagrams are at @TheFuseYouth or at Flipside Junior High. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at GT Student Ministries, where we post all of our videos each week. And if you haven't already, you can text Fuse or Flipside to the number on the screen to receive our text alerts. We're also starting a new series this week called More to the Story. You can follow along every day for the next 4 weeks on the YouVersion Bible app. All you have to do is go to plans and search More to the Story to add the plan. Well, it was fun hanging out with you all for the first half of this video, but I think it's time to dive into our new plan. Let's go see what Pastor Rick has to say.
Well, hey there, students. We are kicking off a new series called More to the Story. And I'm so excited that you are here joining us tonight. Well, one thing I love about being a youth pastor is to keep up with the Gen Z lingo. And I know I get older every single year, but you guys still the same age for me. So I got to keep up with the lingo. And so during this quarantine, I've been looking up some of these words that you've been using, because hopefully when we get back together, I can use some words like this. And so here's how to speak to Gen Z for us old people. Take a look at this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carl. So it seems like every other week, the kiddos of Generation Z seem to come out with new slang terms that quite frankly confuse the rest of us older generations. So the goal today is to learn how to speak some of that Gen Z lingo. And joining me today on how to translate some phrases is our favorite spokesperson for the Gen Z kids, my cousin Brock. Say hello, Brock. Brock, say hello.
Sup?
Alright, let's get started.
You guys have the Wi-Fi password?
Alright, Brock, we're gonna start with some simple ones. Yeah. Okay. Hello, how are you?
Saw.
Friends.
Fam.
Family.
Fam jam.
It was a fun event.
The fest was lit.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm about to leave.
I'm finna dipset.
Those are some neat shoes.
Them kicks are dripping.
I would be glad to help.
Bet.
My favorite team lost.
Dudes took an L.
My favorite team lost very bad.
Dudes got clapped.
He seems upset.
He little mad.
He seems very upset.
He big mad.
I like this music.
That's a bop.
I'm not lying.
No cap.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oof.
That's an interesting statement.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'm not a fan of these appetizers.
These apps are booty.
I completely agree with that statement.
Facts.
I agree.
Yeet yeet.
Excuse me.
Yeet.
Wow, that's exciting news.
Yeet.
Congratulations on your baby boy.
Yeet.
What does yeet even mean?
Yeet is yeet.
That doesn't help.
It's like when fam comes slipping in with their drippin' swag, jamming to some sick bop. And no cap, you know these facts are about to be litty fresh to death. You're like, oh. I'm not big mad at that booty response.
Yeet. I don't get it.
Weird flex, but okay.
I don't know.
Now, I know some of these words maybe are not in your vocabulary, and some of them you actually use. And you got to teach me some of the lingo because I'm still trying to keep up. It's so funny how words can change over time, right? How there can be different meanings to the same words, and how there can be different, innuendos and stuff like that that's going on with these words. And I'm going to say a word that we don't usually say in church a lot, that we don't really like to say, or maybe you don't really like even to hear, because as soon as you hear it, you get a little squirmish or some a little bit embarrassed about it. The word is sex. Yeah, sex. You're looking around, you're like, is my parents listening to this? Like, what's going on? What is happening right now? In this series, we're going to look at this and look at a lot of other things. We're going to look at the word pornography. We're going to look at dating relationships. We're going to look at sexual integrity because there is more to the story than what our culture says. That sometimes we take our cues from culture rather than taking our cues from the Creator. We take our meaning of what sexuality means from things like Netflix and Instagram and online and TikTok videos, and we listen to those voices rather than listening to the voice of God, or rather than looking at God's and what He has to say about it. We can be weirded out, but I think that we are doing a disservice in the church to be silent about this issue, because there are many people and many Christians, or we profess a faith in God, that are struggling their way through. It's like, what does God really have to say about our relationships, about sexuality, about all of these issues, and how can we live for God? Because I believe that when it comes to God's plan for relationships, there's more to the story. There's more to the story when it comes to the relationships that you have. And we're going to take a look at this for the next few weeks. You know, Paul, the Apostle Paul, actually has something to say about this. Back 2,000 years ago, he writes this letter to the Corinthians, to this city in Corinth. And he uses the language that they were using. See, they had this mindset that's very much like our culture today. They had this, they said, I have the right to do anything. I mean, doesn't that sound like some of the people that you're in contact with, right? Doesn't that sound like our culture today? That if it was a meme back then, it would kind of be like this one, I do what I want. Like whatever, I do what I want. And it's like that in our sexuality and like that in dating relationships. It's like I do whatever I want to do. And Paul says this to Corinth, a very sexual, permissive kind of culture, a very party town, as it were. And he says, you know what? It's not just I do what I want or I have the right to do anything. He says, you say that, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. That's what Paul says. I won't be mastered by anything. You know what? In terms of our sexuality, in terms of our relationships, in terms of our dating relationships, that we can say, you know what? We can do certain things, but it's not beneficial for us. Just because you can do something doesn't mean it's the best thing for you to do. And when it comes to relationships, a lot of the questions that I get asked are like, how far is too far? Or can we kiss? Or can we hold hands? Or can we do more than that? Or can we do that? You know, what are the boundaries that God deems as acceptable or not? And this isn't a list of rules of what is acceptable and what is not in the relationship. It's a term of integrity towards God. You see, I think that there's a sexual integrity that we are to have as we pursue God with everything that we are, and we make God famous and we follow Jesus in everything that we do. You know, it is actually saying, you know, I want my story to be in line with what God wants for my life. And so as we go into this for the next few weeks, I want you to ask this question: what do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want a dating relationship to look like? Maybe you're not dating and you don't want to date, and that's good. Don't date yet for a long time. Or you want to get married at some point, and that's later on. And there are different, I know you're all on different aspects of this journey, but as we write our own stories, in the relationships that we have, may we align with God. You know, the first thing that you can do is talk to God about who you really want to be in terms of your sexuality, in terms of your relationships, in terms of what you do. Like, talk to God about it. The second thing that you can do is you can talk to someone how you plan to become that person. How do you become that person to choose to honor God and others in everything that you do? As you value others people, and you don't see other people as a commodity, you don't see the relationships as just a hookup or whatever it is. Like, you don't see those kind of language. Like, you don't use that kind of language. Instead, you just say, God, how do you want me to act? That our culture says, do whatever you want. But God, what do you want me to do? And I think that's a great place to start as we write our stories and as we look at the dating relationships, because I know there's more to the story. And we're going to get into this. And so for the next few moments, I want you to take time in your small groups to talk about this and talk about some of the relationships, dating relationships, and how you, maybe as a follower of Jesus, can have God-honoring relationships in your life as we look at this for the next few weeks. Well, God bless you. I'm praying for you, and we'll see you again next week.